Thank you for inviting me to speak on artificial intelligence. When people think of artificial intelligence, the major image that pops up in their head is that of a robot gliding around and giving mechanical replies. There are many forms of artificial intelligence, but humanoid robots is just one of the most popular forms of artificial intelligence. They have been depicted in several Hollywood movies, and if you are a fan of science and fiction, you might have come across a few of them. Movies like 2001 A Space Odyssey, The Terminator, The Matrix portray the scenes of a band of humans running away from super intelligent machines, making people to believe that someday few killer robots strapped with machine guns are going to hunt us down in swamps. All of you might have seen the 2001 Space Odyssey movie. The HAL AI super intelligent computer has a creepy voice and it looks up to the crew, manages the spaceship, and plays chess with them. One of the earliest forms of humanoids was created in 1495 by Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo designed a robo or mechanical knight that could perform a lot of human functions like sitting, standing, walking. The robo was created by people working off the small number of drawings and designs he has done. And the created robo is now part of the Sydney Town Hall exhibition. The robo is partially the fruit of Leonardo's anatomical research, and it is a warrior clad in German-Italian medieval armor. Recently, Mario Tadai wrote a book about the robo of Leonardo da Vinci, and he found new drawings and clues and presented a more correct reconstruction of the robo. So we can see artificial intelligence and robots going back to 15th century. Then again in 1977, if you see, NASA sent a space craft, its satellite called Voyager 1. It was the first man-made object to leave our solar system and get into the interstellar space. They believed, the engineers those days, it will come back within 3 to 5 years. But still it is going on and sending in, we can get the information. The greatest wonder is that onboard memory on Voyager 1 was just 40 KB. That is just basically a Word document. Those pictures you're going to take today on your smartphone wouldn't even fit on Voyager 1. To put that in perspective, your 16 GB iPhone 5 has 240,000 times the memory of Voyager spacecraft. A lot has happened since we put the probe into space. We commercialized the internet, and everybody has a smartphone. Every school kid even has a 3D printer. Today, a quantum computer can read every book in the library. You know what is a quantum computer? It's going to revolutionize. In less than a blink of an eye, it can read. Well, how does it work? Because you all would have studied about the bizarre world of quantum mechanics, where subatomic particles like electrons and photons can seemingly exist in multiple states. Physicists call this superposition. All current computers, even supercomputers, process data in a linear sequential of ones and zeros. But a quantum bit or a qubit can be a 0 and 1 at the same time, enabling multiple computation. That's why it is able to simultaneously generate a lot of answers. And that's why it could read every book in the Library of Congress at once instead of one at a time, so that you can find the answer of a specific problem at the earliest. So now soon computers are getting faster and is becoming 1,000 times faster. With this rise in computing power, the next 30 years of technological advancement is going to be significant. And one of the things that is going to be driving this technological advancement is artificial intelligence. By the way, you can raise your hand. I'm not sure whether you can do that. If you have ever purchased something based on a recommendation from Amazon Prime or Amazon Video. And how many of you have your favorite song right now recommended to you based on your listening habits on Spotify or Pandora. All that is because of artificial intelligence. Have you ever wondered how Google is able to give you such accurate search results? Even you can find what's the passion of your heart by Googling. How your Facebook feed always give you content based on your interest? Just think about it. All these things are artificial intelligence. It has found its way into our daily lives. It has become so general that we don't realize that we are using it all the time. The implications are much larger than just your purchasing decision or searching. Artificial intelligence can help humans to live longer and healthier. It's going to help nations be safer and more secure. It can help us to re-establish a balance between humans and natural environment. You know, Google has a company called DeepMind. DeepMind can detect 50 types of eye disease based on a 3D retinal scan. Once they get through all the research, they are able to help people get all over the world. They can prevent them from becoming blind. Even in the realm of agriculture, there are programs right now that analyzing soil deficiencies, weather patterns, and so how to use energy less labor, and so on. So, Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, said in October 2016 that last 10 years we are building a world that is mobile first. In the next 10 years, we will see a shift that is artificial intelligence first. He believes that the combination of artificial intelligence and quantum computing will help to solve the world's problems. But the downside is the ethical implication of artificial intelligence. Will missions using artificial intelligence be able to kill a human without human being involved? Can a mission algorithm decide how long somebody goes to prison if they have committed a crime? Can a mission algorithm decide whether or not somebody is able to get out of prison? These are some of the ethical questions. Elon Musk said artificial intelligence is a fundamental risk to the existence of human civilization. Even Stephen Hawking said the same. With this brief introduction, let me move into my presentation. So I'm going to present a brief definition of artificial intelligence and types of artificial intelligence, machine learning and deep learning, and some of robotics, and what is the future of artificial intelligence. This will be the course of my talk. So what is intelligence, first of all? IQ, or intelligence quotient, was first coined by the German psychologist William Stern in the early 1900s. IQ is the ability to solve complex problems. You always grade people based on IQ, right? Many times people who are graded low IQ have come up much in life. So, but we always grade people. How? The ability to solve complex problems. What is a complex problem? If you give a very large number of inputs and outputs, so what happens if you have a very large number of inputs and outputs? You lack a discernible pattern, right? If you know a small amount of input, small amount of output, you can discern easily. But if you have a lot of things, then it becomes a complex problem. And now you have some people have a very good memory. They can recall something long back, some phone number or something. But actually, it is a complex problem to recall something that is not reinforced. If it is reinforced again and again, it's quite easy. So this becomes a memory problem. This is again a complex. And now searching among many possibilities for one answer. That is again a complex human problem. So now these are some of the complex problems. Some of them are just a very routine problem. So this normally what we do is we feed information to a machine and it automatically does. Like you have a teller machine and you go and give your ATM card. So in bank now the tellers don't deal much with money, but they deal with humans. So you can go to an ATM and get it. So because you just give this input and this much money has to come out, but these are all given. But artificial intelligence is much more than that. The machine itself can think, and a telemachine cannot think. But if it is an artificially intelligent machine, it can think. So now solving a problem, what are the things involved if you have to solve a problem in the human level? Creating a representation or an abstraction based on filters, lookup tables, rules, dictionaries, starting with a reality. You know, you have a goal. So if you are a programmer, what will you do? I have a goal, I have to reach this, and this is the reality. And I will make a representation. I have to create a representation. I have to create an abstraction, and I'll have filters, lookup tables, rules, dictionaries. And then now I go ahead and analyze that abstraction using mathematics and then algorithms using logical or symbolic representation. Then with all these things, I will bring out a model. And that model, if I give an input, I get an output, and you will get various analysis. And then based on the output, I can carry out signal processing using very high-end mathematics. I can come out. So these are some of the things we can feed it into an artificial intelligent program. It can be based on neural networks, or it can be based on anything. So this is totally how you solve a problem, right? So now I have a problem. A Siri, let us take a Siri. Hey Siri, you call it. And then you were asking some questions. What's the climate? The Siri has to be programmed, right? So that is an artificially intelligent program. So now let us come to the basic definition of artificial intelligence. This was the term the first coined by John McCarthy at the Dartmouth conference that happened in 1956. He defined artificial intelligence as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. The science and engineering of making intelligent machines. It's a technique of getting machines to work and behave like humans. So the goal is to achieve, see, you have a lot of neurons in your brain, right? So now you don't know, the brain is too complex. That's why people, even who don't believe that there is a creator who exists, when they look at the brain, when they look at the DNA, they can feel that there is some design behind it. That design has to be replicated now in a mission. So is the mission be able to do that or even supersede that? That is the question. So now the power of a machine to imitate or copy intelligent human behavior. So we need a system that can think like humans. We need a system that acts like humans. A system that think rationally, because we are rational human beings, right? So if somebody tries to kill us, we don't go near them. So we are rational people. We think rationally. We act rationally. So that sort of behaviors we need to mimic in our missions. So Turing developed a test. He developed a test which involves an interpreter, a human, and a computer. The computer and human have separate conversations with the interpreter. So now there is an interpreter. So now I am a human, next to me is a computer. So now the interpreter have to find out whether this particular guess, whether it is coming from a human or from a machine. So the interpreter, if the interpreter can't guess that this is me or this is computer or this is a human or this is a computer, then you can understand that the computer has become an intelligent like me. So now if the interpreter can't guess that a computer or it's a man or it's a computer, then already you are going to the artificial intelligence level. That's the thing which was developed by Alan Turing. It's called the imitation game, comparing computer results to human results. Now, artificial intelligence is a collection of technologies that can enable a machine or system to sense, comprehend, act, and learn. So we said that this is the intelligence, this is the way we solve a problem. Now, If I have to do this work, I need to sense the world outside. How can a machine sense the world? I want to make a machine like a person. So let's take this machine had to imitate you. So now the machine has to look at the world like how you look at the world. So that is called sensing. So in the case of defense, let us take in the defense technology, you have a lot of adversaries. So now you're not sure about the adversaries. What will happen? And so you need to have a lot of sensors, and then the sensor should be able to give the information, and that artificial intelligent machine should be able to get that and learn from that and find out even when the adversaries, how they will come, how they will attack, and how they will do both in the land and sea and the air. So this sort of things and the defense technologies, when we have to develop, that becomes a defense, that becomes an artificial intelligence in the defense technologies. So every technology, we need a sensor to look at the world around. You need, for example, you have an old lady with you, and you want to take care of her geriatric care, and you don't have any proper person. So now you need to develop a machine that looks almost like a daughter. So that machine has to perceive it around it. And if the lady says that I need a coffee, or her sound, it has to sense. It has to sense an image. It has to sense a text. So that's what I meant by sensing. Then comprehend, to enable a machine to recognize patterns and context in the information it collects. So now how will I train a machine? So now if I'm training a machine, I need to develop a pattern, right? For example, there was a one break issue happened. People were trying to develop a mesh, teach them how a wolf will look. So whatever images they had given all the things, a wolves with the snow at the background. So what happened is, once a dog image was there, because there was a snow at the background, the image, that computer recognized even the dog as a wolf. So now you should not only tell the snow as the background, you should also teach the machine that it will have this sort of ear, it will have this sort of eyes. So this is a pattern. You have to teach the machine to recognize, and then it has to learn based on that. So just as humans interpret information by understanding the patterns and the context. So now when you want to teach a machine to become like a human, it need to sense, it need to comprehend, and then it has to act. If I want a coffee, if that lady wants a coffee, that machine should be able to understand her voice and understand the pattern, the coffee machine, and then it has to take an action. It has to put the water and make coffee and go and hand it over in her hand, right? So to enable a machine to take action in the physical world or even in the digital world based on the perception or comprehension. And then to enable a machine to continuously optimize its performance. That is most important. See, if I make a mistake, I should be able to learn from the mistake. That's what even the gaming softwares they did. Watson and many games, when they tried, initially those people thought that a machine can never win a man. But finally they found, when they had went on teaching and the machine learned from its mistake, the machine became more intelligent from its mistakes. And then the final product could even win the human beings because it had all the actions. If I do this, it will go wrong. If I do this, it will go wrong. So every failure of its actions, it has taken feedback, and then based on this, it optimized its performance. That's why gaming software, the machine could win the game. That was a few centuries back. That was the talk of the town, because people never thought a machine can win a human being. And the person who lost the game even was very sad, was so upset that he lost to a machine. And now, how would you train a system through machine learning or deep learning? How would you make it intelligent or powerful? So now there are two things, machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence that focuses on getting machines to make decisions by feeding them data. So by the machine can take decision, but how would the machine take decision unless you feed them with data? So you should have a lot of data analysts, and you need, and those people should be able to feed data into the machine. Even all your Google data, sometimes it is fed inside and the machine learns and tells you this sort of dress is good for you. And it keeps sending out those sort of things. Deep learning, it's not a machine learning, it's a little subset of that that uses the concept of neural networks to solve still complex problems. So if I want to sum it up, machine learning and deep learning are all interconnected fields. Machine learning and deep learning aids artificial intelligence by providing a set of algorithms or neural networks to solve data-driven problems. The algorithms and the neural networks are developed, and the data-driven problems are solved using any other things like natural language processing. If a machine has to understand this is a female voice, this is a male voice, and this is this person's voice, all the things it has to be fed inside, and object detection, computer vision, robotics, expert system are all part of artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence consists of so many things involved in that. So it is not only machine learning, it has so many other things involved. So it becomes a complete set. So now what is a machine learning? Let me just give the difference between machine learning and deep learning. For example, you lost in a video game. Now you learn and improve till you beat your opponent. How you learn? You learn from your past data, past results, and make better decisions in the future, right? So that is just a machine learning. You are learning from the past and you are improving yourselves. So artificial intelligence is getting better at figuring out what you are going to buy and all the such things because you are learning from the past data. So this is having three types of machine learning. One is supervised learning, predict outcome based on past data. How would you do it? You train the machine, you supervise the machine, and you train it. So that is a supervised learning. And then unsupervised learning, clustered data. From a clustered data, how would you do it? So now if I'm having a linear set, it is easy for me to learn with supervision. But if it is not supervision, then should be from the patterns and others, I should be able to do it. The third type is reinforcement learning. That is on the basis of rewards and punishment and just failures and success, how I learn. So coming to deep learning. Deep learning is something to become like a human brain. Deep neural network or deep neural learning. These are some of the terms for that. So learning to recognize patterns and identify abstract objects. For example, I'm teaching a toddler to learn about cats. How would I teach if I am a parent? By pointing to an object. So I'll ask, is it a cat or not? So then when I show a cat, when I show a dog and something like that, the toddler becomes more aware of cat features like its tail. And finally, it clarifies a complex abstraction, the concept of a cat by building a hierarchy at each level of abstraction. So now it is created with knowledge that was gained by the preceding layer of the hierarchy. So I get this level and then I go to this level and I go to this level and such way. So let me come to the Siri. What is Siri? There are so many Alexa, Siri, so many applications out there. These are all applications of machine learning and deep learning. You know, the Hey Siri detector uses a deep neural network to convert the acoustic pattern of your voice at each instant into a probability distribution over speech sounds. So Alexa Siri relies on natural language generation and processing and machine learning. Every time Alexa Siri makes a mistake when responding to your request, what happens? So it makes a mistake. So then it uses the data it receives and then it improves the next time. Again, if an error is made, it takes the data and it becomes better. So it becomes sophisticated. So natural language processing is the ability of a machine to read or understand the content produced by humans. So now finally AI has two purposes. One is to use the power of computers to augment human thinking. So now I want to augment a human thought. just as we use motors to augment horsepower, right? The same manner. So these are robotics or expert systems of some major branches of it. The next is cognitive psychology, thought process. See, is it possible to imitate a human? We have conscience, we have thought process, we have rationality. So many are having this debate. Is it really possible? So how humans think, it has to understand in a humanoid way. If you test your programs not merely by what they accomplish, but how they accomplish, then you are really doing cognitive science. You are using AI to understand the human mind. So using AI to understand the human mind, mimic the human mind, and find out how the humans think, and then imitate how the human think. That is the second level. These are the two purposes people use artificial intelligence. That's what Herb Simon said. Okay. There are three types of artificial intelligence. Weak, that is, we call it as artificial narrow intelligence. Second is artificial general intelligence. The third is artificial um, super intelligence. So let me tell you again, artificial narrow intelligence. Artificial narrow intelligence are weak intelligence. What do you do? It's like this. DRDO has developed a COVID detector based on artificial intelligence softwares. So this is just, it takes the X-ray images. You know, you need an RT-PCR result, or you need a CT scan images to find whether you have become COVID positive or not. But what happens is, this particular system based COVID-19 detection application software called Atman, it uses just chest X-rays. It automatically detects the radiological findings, and then in seconds tells the physicians or radiologists that whether it is a COVID or it is a non-COVID, or he's a normal patient, is it some other pneumonia, something like that. So he just a few hundred of images, it has been trained to an accuracy of around 96%. How it has been done? This is a weak AI. That is the artificial narrow intelligence. So you train a program, and then you give, this is very useful in medical fields. You get a lot of cancer patients' images and then train the system. When you train the system, it will be able to tell the other people whether these people are also having cancer or not based on the detection. So that is the artificial narrow intelligence. Artificial general intelligence. So people are thinking within a few years we will be able to develop that is equivalent to humans. So in 30 years, the machines will become like humans. And then artificial super intelligence, whether machines will overtake humans. So we will see in detail, but most of the machines, what we see here now, are all artificial narrow intelligence, that is weak artificial intelligence. So the evolution of the main ideas, if you see, starts with games, mathematics, and the knowledge-based system, and then machine learning, and then symbolic, sub-symbolic system, and then robotics, and finally natural language processing. So now the smart car. So if you have a smart car, Tesla, they are planning to, it's a self-driving car. So it has to learn from the patterns and from the speech and update information about the landmarks and where is the lowest price gas stations and warns the drivers of road hazards. But I am not sure, for example, if you put a trolley, a child trolley or a trolley from full of vegetables, how a smart car will find. So many questions people have about having a self-driving car. How safe it is, how it is not safe, all such things. So now coming to AI forges a new partnership between man and machine. So humans excels at common sense. We have morality. You can never make a machine a moral being, right? We have imagination. We have compassion. We have abstraction. We dream. We generalize. But these machines excel at locating knowledge, pattern identification, machine learning, and it doesn't have bias, right? If I have asked to do give a job between my close people and the other people, I may prefer my relatives, right? So those sort of bias is not there. But if you feed bias in a machine, it does it. For example, recently they found they were using this, who is a probable prisoner, probable offender. So they were trying to put all the information about the people who are released from the prison into the machine. And when the people who were putting, they have put that Africans were more prone to such things. Like, so when the machine was trying to find out the probable offenders, 80% it was giving Africans. So then they found out the bias is given into the machine itself. But it has, when you eliminate bias and feed the data, it has endless capacity. So now why don't we merge these two? If you can merge these two, we can excel and we can get something far better. That's what people are trying to think. So some people are even worried, very afraid, because these robots are coming. They are going to destroy our livelihood. Now these robots have come, and some robots are taking over, even building the big buildings. And so many people are going to lose jobs. So people are really scared also. So artificial intelligence in medicines, it includes physical objects, medical devices, sophisticated robots for delivery of care, and robots for surgery. Surgery robots are really very useful because it has made the life of many surgeons quite easy, and then also it has the accuracy. So under the guidance of a good surgeon, these robots are really very useful. And similarly, when you get the data from many people, and the softwares are developed such that to accurately detect a particular disease based on the things. So these are some of the things artificial intelligence plays in the medical field. So each and everything like identification and automation of skin, back, and everything, you can give it to a robot. You can make it using softwares based on artificial intelligence. Prosthetic limbs, pacemakers, dialysis machine, heart rate monitors, blood pressure machines, etc. Even in car industry, these are all weak AIs, general packaging, mail processing, etc. So difference between automation and autonomy. See, you know, artificial intelligence, and then you have robotics. So now the center, you have both artificial intelligence with the automation, you have the artificially intelligent robots. So there comes humanoids. So robotics without artificial intelligence, it can function. You just feed some data and the robot keeps doing it. How you ask it to make a construction, how you ask it to make a building, and all such things robots do without artificial intelligence. But when these two merges, it becomes more powerful. So artificial intelligence programmed to think, social interaction, learns. And so with all these things, it can be made so powerful artificial intelligent robots. So robots are machines that can sense, plan, and act. So robotic arms, and they can work in a factory, draw portraits, make pancakes, and humanoid robots. They help at home. They even play ping pong. So generate specific motion of joints. So now sensing and modeling the world. So now you have an external world. So I need sensors. For example, I have an enemy adversary. So my country and the next country, for example, in the borders, I have sensors to perceive it, the threat, and then the missions have to behave, act, select, plan, learn, and then act. So that is more important. So decision making, sensing, perception, motion, and control, everything should be built in a machine. So even in the space exploration, we have mission. This is the space rover. We know, all of us know that it has gone to Mars. It slowly opened up, and like humans, we cannot go there because the atmosphere is not there. And so we have sent a rover. It sends beautiful pictures. Even the vacuum cleaners, all of us know. So these are some of the robots. So nano robots are, many of the other robots are existing. Let me just go back to, because robotics, because of the time is less. I will go back and finish it with the artificial intelligence. What is the future of artificial intelligence? We all know that robo is an electromechanical device, but when you use it along with artificial intelligence, it becomes so powerful. So now coming to it, let me just try to finish another 10 minutes I have, I think. So the humanoids earlier, they were thinking that they are going to use only for creating better prosthetics for humans or something like that. But they have this, as I showed you, they have this actuators, sensors, and AI-based interaction. Sophia is the world's first robotic citizen. She was introduced to the United Nations on August 11, 2017. So, and also she gained Saudi Arabian citizenship, making her the first humanoid robot ever to have a nationality. She was created by hands and robotics and can carry out wide range of human actions. And she can make a lot of facial expressions and can equally express feelings. It's so nice. You go to the YouTube and you can look at Sophia. She can beautifully speak to you, and it was designed to look like the British actress Audrey Hepburn. And similarly, a lot of humanoids are there that has gained a lot of interest among children, among youths. And now coming to this, there are some super strong AI. I said that now our main aim, people's main aim is to imitate human beings. So that's why we are trying to have a lawyer, a machine trying to work as a lawyer, and a machine trying to become like a killer robots. So in military technology, AI is more scary, I was thinking, because the world will be a much worse place if in just 20 years time the military is using lethal autonomous weapon systems. Then there will be no laws to control them. So now you see, you give a gun to that killer robot and you need to tell this is the opponent and you have to kill. What if some way you have some other obstruction is there before that, and instead of killing that, it kills your own people? So it is a little dangerous. And similarly, in your kitchen, hey Alexa, play me a nice instrumental music. So that gives you a happy uh, cooking. So these are some of the good features, and these are some of the bad features. Similarly, there are some snack boards. They are asked to be, they are kept in some of the companies, and they are asked to deliver snacks within an office. You know, Pizza Man. They are like drones. They send pizza through the drones. But in heavy cities, crowded cities, it's not possible. Similarly, self-driving cars, as I said, and then the major aim for humanoids is to, now people are trying to find out whether by using a lot of sensors and actuators and latest artificial intelligent programs, whether using humanoids we can control a lot of things like finances, like law. And what is the problem, for example, how about our privacy? These things can invade our privacy. And sometimes, what about it can even invade a government? If somebody takes it up and say there is no need of polling and there is no need to go and vote, and this is the right person, and all such things, mind games if it plays. So these are some of the threat what artificial intelligence can face us. Super strong AI. This is not all about weak AI, that is narrow intelligence. This is about general and then super intelligence. Robo lawyers or artificial intelligence software offer law firms an opportunity to complete repetitive tasks like legal precedents and others. So there are a lot of repetitive tasks. So that can be programmed inside. But if you program a bias inside, a confirmation bias, sexist bias, racist bias inside, then there is a problem behind it. So we need to be very careful what we are doing with the intelligence we have. And even with the autopilot system in car, a man was killed some time back because his car crashed into the side of an eight-wheeler. Because it 18-wheeler, it never could estimate the length of the 18-wheeler track. And so we all have this question. So if you make a robot that is too much like a human, again, it looks so creepy, right? And it occupies your privacy. Now artificial intelligence revolution has started, and we are just expecting what is going to take over. So what I wanted to say is we are thinking about a situation called singularity. The singularity will occur when we have an artificial intelligent machine that is producing improvements to itself, but no human is knowing what it is doing to itself, because you already put an improvement program inside that. So it is going on improving itself, and then it becomes more powerful than a human being. At that point, human beings become vulnerable. So that is called singularity. So you can imagine that if it happens, it might become dangerous. Where technology and medical benefits are too high, we also should also know what we are putting it into every mission. So with the advent of self-driving trucks and cars and unmanned aerial vehicles and drones and many other things, it is very fascinating. But still, what are we doing with our intelligence and how it is powerful? How are we making it more powerful than us, or is possible or not? Also, it's a debatable thing. While some people say it is possible, some people say you can never replicate human beings. So with this, I have completed my talk in the right time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hope I have done exactly in 45 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am, for your speech. Now we will take the question and answer session. And now we will take questions, ma'am. So first question is coming from Srivastav. Is microprocessor used in laptops a form of artificial intelligence?
What it is?
The question is microprocessor used in laptops a form of artificial intelligence?
The processes used in artificial intelligence and machine learning based systems are known as artificial intelligence processes. They are basically neuromorphic processing units, and which are designed on the basis of machine learning and neural networks. So
Okay.
actually regarding top 7 microprocessor chips specifically, there are some microprocessor chips specifically designed for AI computing platform to accelerate artificial intelligence. So for example, AMD Radeon Instinct. This is one of the AMD's based deep learning GPU. So there are some like Apple A11 Bionic Neural Engine, Google Tensor Processing Unit. So these are some of the microprocessors which are used, microprocessor chips specifically designed to accelerate artificial intelligence.
Our next question, ma'am. What are the various areas where the artificial intelligence can be used in India?
No, various
areas.
Various areas, you mean?
Can be used in India.
Okay, mainly we can use in Indian agriculture. Okay, so that is very useful, and lot like Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon India, and all these Indian banks, all these things are using artificial intelligence, science, technology, education, agriculture, healthcare, Many of the healthcare people are now using artificial intelligence, and our banks are using. Um, so many places we are using agriculture as our main thing. We can use artificial intelligence to find out the best climate, best water, and you can make a program for that and find out this is the best place and tell the farmers how to do it. And even your Flipkart, Myntra, Amazon all uses artificial intelligence.
Next question, ma'am. For mechanical, what are the opportunities in the artificial intelligence?
For mechanical engineering,
Yes, ma'am.
so robotics mainly. See, I have shown the actuators and others. So mainly mechanical and softwares are the main thing that uses in mechanical engineering. So mainly mechanical engineers use many of the things in robotics, because robotic arm and robotic actuators and all those things are constructed by mechanical engineers. So tools and algorithms can be, tools are done by mechanical engineers, can do machine learning in many field of projecting, designing, construction. Even in construction, many of the US big constructions, they are done by artificial intelligence. So they have, I didn't have time, otherwise I would have shown a lot of videos I have on that, how using artificially intelligent machines, you can lay bricks and you can construct so fast. So that is in civil engineering. And similarly, designing any item, you can use the artificial intelligence software and you can construct it.
Next question, ma'am. Ethics versus AI technology. Where do we draw the line?
So the ethical issues in artificial intelligence technologies like unemployment. First, what happens after the end of jobs? The hierarchy of labor is concerned with automation. So, like if you look at trucks, now Elon Musk, Tesla, has self-driving trucks, can replace many of the other trucks. So, what about the drivers? And what about the inequality? Like our economic system is based on compensation for contribution to the economy. So now hourly wage and others. What about how do we distribute the wealth created by these missions? And then humanity. How do missions affect our behavior and interaction? You are now itself, people are all the time having the mobile and TV, and you can see our youths are not even looking into the eyes to speak. Correct. So they are all the time want to be there. If you have a bot with you in the house, and it helps you to make it tells you what you're supposed to do tomorrow, it tells you what you're supposed to do now, and then it gives you program, and it drives your car, it takes to your work, and it gets you coffee, and then you don't need human interaction. So sometimes artificial intelligence can create some stupidity. Then who is responsible? If you have trained it wrongly, like bias, like confirmation bias, like racism can happen. And similarly, say adversaries also can use artificial intelligence and can damage our systems. And similarly, in genetics, if artificial intelligence is used to turn against ourselves, and finally, as I spoke about singularity, where uh, the machines can take over humans, and because it can learn from its own mistakes and it can become more powerful. And at one point, it can defend itself when human beings are no longer intelligent and machines take over them. So these are some of the ethical issues, but there is a big there was a big conference just 2 years back where many scientists looked about it, and they had brought in some rules and regulations. So based on that, how to work out, they have planned.
Next question, ma'am. Is AI in cars is safe for Indian road?
Indian road, even our own drivers are not safe because automated vehicles and driver assisting technologies. See, you can have it as, instead of self-driving cars, I would say driver assisting technologies using AI. These have the potential to reduce your crashes. For example, it will automatically tell you there is a safety issue there, and when you're about to sleep or something, it can wake you up, or it can prevent human errors. But if you are totally avoiding a human and you are trying to program a machine completely, I'm not sure, because that might create a lot of confusion, and that too on Indian roads. Because as I said that 18-wheel truck, they have never programmed for an 18-wheel truck. In India, we can see that suddenly a truck goes with lot of things projecting from the back. And even when we drive our own car, we find it very difficult. What is this projecting from the front and the back? So when you don't program to a car those things, it can go and hit against it.
Next question, ma'am. For aeronautical engineering, what are the opportunities in AI?
So aeronautical engineering, that main the opportunities is, it plays a significant role in cutting cost, reducing the design cycle time, and like prototyping, optimization. You build an aircraft, or you build a missile, or you build a fighter aircraft. So using artificial intelligence, you can reduce the design cycle time. And then you already have done, if some crash happens or something you have programmed, and then you know how to work on that, and how to reduce the error, and how to prototype it, how to optimize it, and how to update the products, and all such things. It is so useful. So AI models can be trained to analyze the collected data to identify abnormal behavior in aircraft components. So when before putting it in the aircraft, what are the components, what are the abnormal behavior in each and every component, those sort of things you can study. And fuel efficiency and air traffic management, pilot training, threat identification, all such things can be built in.
Okay, ma'am. One last question, ma'am. Uh,
Yeah, please tell me.
can an AI create another AI?
So can it create another mission, AI mission?
Yes, the question is AI,
So see, I'll explain you. I think the question they meant is, see, whatever right now what we have is narrow artificial intelligence. It's designed to perform just a narrow task, only facial recognition, or but the long-term goal is to create a strong AI that is a super intelligence and general intelligence, and also a super intelligence. So now, if an AI mission, now I develop a mission to make another mission, and then I program that how to make that other mission. It is possible. So it can create another artificial, how I program that. That is most important. So machine learning algorithms automatically learn and improve by learning from their output. And by using deep learning, I can use artificial networks, CNN, and then reinforced networks, neural networks, and others can be used for complex problems. So using deep learning and machine learning, I can make a machine to make another machine. So that way I can do it. So a lot of things are possible, but how I learn to program it is more important. So it can transform the world using all this technology. So we can use it for good and we can use it for bad.
okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for your question and answer. And you beautifully explain all the answers. And once again, thank you, ma'am.